Okay, so once again, good afternoon everyone, especially to you ma'am, no? So this afternoon we are here. We are the group 7, no? We are the group 7 reporter that is assigned to introduce to you what is OSB or the Oriented Standboard. But before that, let me read the basic outline, no, of this topic. So first, we have the introductions that also included the history of OSB. So dari na to mahibalaan kung unsa siya nato iga-evolve kinsa ang mga posible nga na naka-create ani no, kinsa mga tawo na posibleng naka-create or nakahuna-huna paunsa ni siya or kanang giunsa ni siya paghimo. Diri sa nato mahibalaan kung unsa gyud si USB, unsa gyud ni siya, and also unsa iyang mga significance and iyang characteristics, mga types of products ni OSB, and also types of trees that are suitable in the productions of OSB, what are the procedure of OSB, the structural enhancement of or the variety products of OSB, and also included the uses of the OSB, difference between OSB and plywood, and lastly, the advantages and disadvantages of the oriented strand. Okay, so now let's move on forward to the first discussion, which talks about the history of the oriented strand. Okay, so talking about oriented strand board or the OSB that evolved in the year of 1960s. So it is a wafer board creating a stronger engineered wood alternative to plywood by aligning wood strands, no? So pag mingon tag OSB, no, nga ga-evolve in the year of 1960s. So it is a modern nga gahing klase sa plywood, no, hinimo ni siya gikan na ng mga sobra-sobra bitaw, mga sobra-sobrang kahoy sa tabla. So in other term, these are the ways or mga salin-salin nga gikan sa tuang tabla, like sobra gikan sa pagplaner, sobra gikan sa pagpanit baka sa tuang tabla, and even those mga natipak na parts sa atoang tabla. So and instead na ato siyang ilabay, no, one brilliant person patented by Armin Elmendorf in the year of 1965, it replaced random wafers with oriented strands. So no, in the year of 1996 kay si Armin Elmendorf, no, make those waste products become a valuable one nga karon gitawag na nato siyang oriented strand boards. So improving structural by the year of 2001, OSB overtook plywood in production, becoming a dominant cost-effective building material, no. So isa ni siya ka unique, no, na inilis nga klase sa plywood, no, sheaving gikan sa mga tabla in one direct pattern, ensuring nga kani nga klase sa plywood kay sulit jud ang imuhang mabayad in making houses, mga ano ba kanang mga furnitures, and other mga productions na pwede nato mabuhat kay USB, because of it is a friendly budget lang yun siya. So muna isa sa mga uniqueness pag abot ni oriented strand board. So now let's move on forward to the significance or characteristics of the oriented strand board. Standboard daw is an engineered wood panel made from compressed layers of rectangular wood strands. Wood strands or flakes that is bonded with waterproof adhesives, creating a strong, cost-efficient material. So again, si oriented strand board, it is an artificial na kanabitang kahoy, no, kung imo siyang anong tawon bitaw na pinaduol kay makita nimo nga it is created or hinimo ni siya gikan sa kanang mga gikan sa lapad o no, lapad nga kana bitawng klase sa mga kahoy no, like kanang tagas nga klase sa chips no, tagas nga klase sa chips gipatong-patong gigamitan og kanang waterproof no pangdikit aron dali-dali nga madaot ang isa ka plywood and lig-on siya, so it is cost efficient nga klase sa material. So the primary the cost efficient material that is used primarily for, first we have this gitawag na to na primarily for structural like sheeting in roof, so pwede na to siya mahimo bitang atop no, pwede sab na to siya mahimong salog as an alternative to plywood. So now let's move on forward to the significance and characteristics of the oriented strand board. So pamingon ta og significance and characteristics of plywood no, so dali na to mahibal-an kung unsa-unsa ang iyahang mga importansya og iyahang kalidad. So first we have this kaning gitawag nato na structural reliability. Its cross-oriented layered structures creates a strong staff panel that resists bending and warping, withstands heavy uniform. So nganong apil ni siya sa isa sa mga significance sa ato ang oriented strand board because of tungod sa iyahang karabitong cross oriented nga pag-arrange sa mga hibla sa kahoy no, kay ang OSB kay dili bitaw siya kana bitang dili siya madali-dali og kapiko or mabali bitaw kay kuan man siya like mga gikan man siya sa kana bitang gikan siya sa kanang chips or flicks sa tabla bitaw nga mas mohold pa siya og kana bitang mga bugat nga butang, so dili siya dali-dali madaot, so mo nang gitawag siya natong structural reliability. So now let's move on forward to the next significance, which is the sustainable and efficiency. So it means that the USB is manufactured from small diameter trees, allowing for better, more eco-friendly utilizations of the forest resources compared to plywood. So it is sustainable and efficient kay mas eco-friendly ni siya kaysa sa kanabitang materials nga gigamit sa plywood, kay kaning si OSB hinimo man gikan sa mga gagmay-gagmay or mga sobra-sobra bitaw sa ato ang tabla. And ang kahoy na gamiton para makahimo og kanang OSB kay those mga species nga dali ra motubo no siya, nga dali ra siya motubo. So furthermore, madiscuss na sa ko ang mga kauban lately kung unsa-unsa ang mga kahoy nga gamiton that is suitable for the productions of the oriented strand board. So mo nang gitawag na to siya na sustainability and efficiency because it is a more eco-friendly utilizations of various forest resources compared to plywood. So now let's move on forward to the versatility and durability. So ngano versatile and durable siya because it means that it is highly versatile for diverse applications including furniture, packaging, and also for trailer liners. So no, daghan kitag pwede gamitan ani kay it is a flexible no and durable ni siya for a housing purposes, furniture bakaha, pwede nimo siya gamiton sa lamisa, katre, mapa ceiling man or walls and other na mga mga purposes para sa ato ang panimalay ba or para sa mga businesses and other kanang mga building materials na pwede na to siya pagamitan. So mo nang gitawag nato siya versatile and durable siya. So now let's move on forward to the cost effectiveness. So nganong appeal sab ni siya sa significance sa ato ang OSB because of it is refers to as it is generally more affordable than plywood, making it a preferred choice for residential and commercial construction. So no, kay mas barato siya compare bitaw sa plywood. So kasagaran kasi sa mga negosyante, sa mga kanabita mga tawo ron kay mangita gid sila og kanang friendly budget gyud na materials na pwede gamiton nila sa ilahang panimalay, sa negosyo baka sa furniture baka so ginagamit na siya kung gusto bitaw ang isa ka tawo na makaless. So again, it is for a building material na kanang durable and flexible siya. So gawas sa barato siya, dili taangay mabala ka nga kuan kanang dali siya madaot because of kanang ang quality ni OSB is different from the other quality of the plywood. So mo nang gitawag na to siya og cost effectiveness because of it is more affordable. Okay, so now let's move on forward to the other significance or characteristics of our oriented strand board. So now let's move on forward to the fastener retention. So pag may tag fastener retention, so the OSB holds nails, screws, and staples very securely. So now si OSB is unique from the other plywood tungod kay mo humok ra gyud ni siya pag imuha bitaw siyang lansangan, stapleran or even gamitan nimo mga screws. So ensuring nga secure gud imong pagkabuhat no sa kanang mga lamisa, mga cabinet no na ligon siya kay dili man siya basta-basta matanggal no dili basta-basta matanggal ang mga lansang na imuhang gibutang mo nagitawag nato siya fastener retention because it is easily to cut. It is also holds nails, screws, and staples very securely. So now let's move on forward to the next significance, which is the workability. So pag may tag workability, what does it mean? So it can be easily cut, machined, and drilled with standard woodworking tools. So workable siya no, makig-cooperate jud siya sa mga trabahante kay dili na mo siya need mo gamit og mga special machine kay dali-dali ra siya no dali-dali ra siya natong maputol, mahulma or kana bitaw mabangagan. So workable gid siya. So now let's move on forward to the other significance of the USB, which is the economic value. So economic value is also refers to as the generally more cost effective and available in larger sizes compared to the traditional plywood no. So gawas sa barato siya, dali ra sad nato siya makit-an no. So dagko pa jud yung mga sizes bitaw kaysa sa plywood. So now let's move on forward to the last significance of the OSB. So when we talk about environmental friendliness, so pag may tag environmental friendliness, it also talk about it is manufactured from a small diameter, fast-growing trees, ensuring utilizations of wood resources. No, so because of kanabitang because of OSB is gikan sa mga gagmay o kanabitang mga dali na motubo nga kahoy no. So dili na ta need magsigi og kanabitang magsigi og pamutol no tungod sa kanang pwede naman nato siya gamitan og kanang mga salin-salin nga gikan sa balik-balik lang jud gikan sa kanabitang salin-salin gikan sa ato ang tabla. So it is environmental friendliness. So mura rin po siya in connections with this kaning gitawag nato na kaning gitawag nato na sustainability and efficiency no. So again, these are the different significance and characteristics of OSB. So first we have this structural reliability. So pag mingon structural reliability, gahi ni siya na klase sa plywood no. Sustainability and efficiency, so sustainable ni siya. Next, let's versatility and durability, cost effectiveness, the fastener retentions, workability, economic value, and lastly, environmental friendliness. So,
There are types of products in OSB. OSB 1 para sa loob ng bahay o interior at sa mga lugar na tuyo. Karaniwang ginagamit sa mga furniture o pandekorasyon na paneling kung saan walang panganib na mabasa. OSB 2, pangtuyo pa rin na kondisyon pero load-bearing na ito. Ibig sabihin kaya na nitong bumuhat ng bigat. Ginagamit ito sa flooring, dingding, at mga DIY projects na kailangan ng tibay. Then OSB 3, idinisenyo para sa mga lugar na mahalumigmig or humid place. Ito ang madalas gamitin sa roof decking at mga dingding sa mga lugar na madalas tamaan ng moisture. OSB 4, ito ang pinakamatibay at pinakaresistensya na ginagamit ito sa mga industrial na sahig at flat roof, kung saan kailangan ng heavy duty na performance. These are the procedure in making OSB. First, pagpili at paghahanda ng log. Gumagamit ng mga maliliit at mabilis tumubong puno. Tinatanggalan ito ng balat o debarking at pinuputol. Then second, stranding or flaking. Ang mga troso ay isinasalang sa makina na may matatalim na kutsilyo para maging manipis at mahahabang hibla or strands na may sukat na 3 to 6 na pulgada. Pangatlo, pagpapatuyo or drying. Ipinapasok ang mga basang hibla sa malalaking dryer para makuha ang tamang tuyo or ito ay may katamtangang 3 hanggang 7% moisture. Then, pang-apat, paghahalo or blending. Hinhaluan ng mga tuyong hibla ng wax at dagta or resin binders para magdikit-dikit sila ng maigi. Pang-lima, forming or orientation. Dito na inaayos ang mga hibla ng sapin-sapin or cross-oriented para maging matibay ang banig or mat ng kahoy. Pang-anim, hot pressing. Ang banig na kahoy ay dinidiin na ng matinding init at pressure para maging isang solid at matigas na panel. Pang-pito, finishing at processing. Pinapalamig ang mga board, tinataba sa tamang sukat at nilalagyan ng sealer ang mga gilid para hindi agad pasukin ng tubig.
now let's move on forward to the variety products of OSB. So we also have four different types. So first we have the super finish, Hyplex plank, Hylam, and lastly the super finish UV. So when we talk about super finish, it talks about it is a row board, no. So kani kay gitawag na row board o wala pa siya ni agi og kanang coating bitaw, wa pa ni hitabong coating. Pero maski pag wala na hitabong coating ani niya is yung surface area is sino gyapon siya. So let me show you an example of the super finish. So as what you can see, no, ang surface area ni OSB is maskin pag it is made from a kanang salin-salin ng mga sobra gikan sa tabla is sino gyapon ang iyang surface area. So now let's move on forward to the next variety of OSB. So next is the Hyplex plank. So when we talk about Hyplex plank, it is also specially designed for structural support in building construction. So pumingon tag Hyplex plank, kani is mas baga siya den taas ang mga tabla sa OSB. So gibuhat ni siya aron bitaw maka karga og mga bugat bitaw na mga butang like kanang for example sa mga roof or other construction purposes. So, show you an image of a Hyplex plank. So, now as you can see, ang area na ang kabag-on sa OSB is lahi siya from the other plywood, no. So, baga gid siya like inani kabaga ang iyahang klase sa plywood. So, muna siya gitawag nato na Hyplex plank. So now let's move on forward to the Hylam. So Hylam is a great combination for a load-bearing and thin panel lamination surface furniture. So pumingon tag Hylam, so kani siya ay OSB na pinagsama sa lamination. So buot pasabot gahi na ang iyang inside part and presentable na So okay, for now, let's move on forward to the last variety products of OSB, which is the Super Finish UV. So pag may nguntag Super Finish UV, it is a natural or smooth coat, no? So it is a special coating nga gipagahi gamit ang UV light. So tungod ani is mahimo na siyang sinaw o protected na sa iyang surface area in terms of magasgasan siya or mabasa siya tubig. So now, let's take a look for the example of the Super Finish UV, no? So, as what you can see, ang surface area niya is dili na siya pareha ani og kanang forma, no? So, ang kaning sa Super Finish UV is kuha na yung area ang yung surface area is sinaw na siya, no? And also kuha na siya kanang gahi na siya sa. That are the 4 variety products of our USB. So we have the Super Finish, the Hyplex Plank, the Hylam, and lastly the Super Finish UV. So
Narito ang katangian ng OSB versus plywood. Base sa lakas o strength nila, ang OSB ay mas uniform ang struktura. Consistent ang tibay sa bawat bahagi ng board. Ang plywood naman ay matibay pero depende sa direksyon ng grain ng kahoy. Dan sa moisture, ang OSB ay may tendensyong mamaga o magkakaswelling ang mga gilid kapag nabasa ng matagal. While ang plywood naman ay mas magaling humawak ng moisture at hindi madaling mamaga kaysa sa OSB. Base sa itsura, ang OSB ay magaspang at maraming hiblang nakikita. Hindi magandang i-finish o pintura ng diretso. While the plywood, ito ay makinis ang ibabaw kaya pwedeng pinturahan o barnisan agad para sa dekorasyon. These are the disadvantages of using OSB. Ang OSB ay may mura at matibay at may mga kahinaan din ito. Una, sensitibo sa tubig. Kapag nababad sa tubig, ang mga gilid nito ay namamaga. Hindi tulad ng plywood, mas matagal matuyo ang OSB na pwedeng magpahina sa istruktura nito. Pangalawa, magaspang na ibabaw. Hindi ito makinis. Kung gusto mo ng magandang finish, kailangan mo muna itong takpan ng ibang materyales. Pangatlo, mas mabigat. Mas mabigat ang OSB kaysa sa plywood, kaya mas nakakapagod itong buhatin at i-install. Pang-apat, edge swelling. Kahit na may sealant ang mga gilid, kapag pinutol mo ang board, ang bagong cut na gilid ay madaling sumaysip ng tubig at lumubo. Panglima, mas mahina sa babadan. Sa pangkalahatan, mas mabilis masira ang OSB sa sobrang basang kondisyon kumpara sa plywood.
How do we turn wood logs into engineered wood panels? We will take you on a tour of how oriented strand board is produced. Usually people do not associate OSB with high-end engineered products, but we believe that this tour will completely change your view. We're going to take you on a tour of manufacturing and quality assurance and give you the whole idea on how this high-end engineered OSB is very different from the other wood products. Firstly, all the logs used in the manufacturing of Pioneer OSB are only made of Malaysian oak from rubber plantation under the PEFC controlled sources to ensure accessibility and long-term sustainability. Rubber wood is a green source of timber as the trees are harvested after 25 to 30 years once they have ceased their latex production cycle. The logs are harvested and transported to the log yard and arranged according to the FIFO method to ensure the freshness of the material. The logs are then fed in through the debarker to remove the bark. The barks which are taken off are not thrown away. Instead, they are being used as the fuel for the plant's energy supply. After leaving the debarker, the logs head to the strander. The machine takes in the logs and slices them into thin strands of a specific length, width, and thickness. All of these are very carefully controlled at the stranding machine, which uses ring knife flakers, which work similarly to a giant pencil sharpener. The knives produce a very precise length, width, and thickness of strands, which is very important for the next process down the line. Prior to drying, we have a wet bin, which allows us to have the inventory of the wet strands. This bin maintained the freshness of the wood strands. Once these strands have been cut into the exact size, they are fed into the dryer. This drying process is not done randomly to get the strand dry. In fact, they are very closely monitored and controlled, where the moisture content is controlled below 3%. The dry strand at this level of moisture content is the ideal moisture content for making OSB. Getting out of the dryer, these strands are then sorted into two categories. We have the core layers and the surface layers. Next, these strands travel to the blenders, where the resin gets to apply to the strands. Pioneer OSB only uses formaldehyde-free PMDI glue in our production, which makes our panels safe to provide our consumers with a higher quality of life. Once they come out from the blenders, the strands are sent to the forming bin stations where layers of strands are formed. The 150 to 200 mm thick strand layers are being pressed to 18 mm final products. The strands are not randomly stacked, but they are formed in 3 cross-directional layers. The bottom and top surface layers are formed in longitudinal direction, and the core layers are formed in perpendicular direction. The mat is then sent to the 30-meter length continuous press machine. Under the intense heat and pressure, these cross-directional layer strands are pressed to form a high-density panel. After coming out from the continuous press, the panels are trimmed, cut, and branded where a printer prints the details according to the order. Panels are then sent to the 2-star cooler for cooling and acclimatization. Here, each panel is rotated 180 degrees and cooled to room temperature. The panels then proceed to the final sawing operation, where the panels are cut into the exact length and width required. Our fully automated high-tech machine is equipped with more than 1,000 online sensors quality check, which helps to eliminate human error in producing panels which are of uniform quality. This results in a strong, dimensionally stable quality panel with no gaps and voids that resist deflection, delamination, and warping. What do we do in Pioneer OSB to ensure consistent quality assurance to make sure the panels are performing the same? Here, panels are retrieved from production every 2 hours for quality checking. Panels are cut into samples for different types of tests such as bending test, density test, and moisture content test to ensure that the panels we are producing are produced to the highest quality. We also inspect all the finishing to ensure that they are working correctly and that every bundle that are delivered to the warehouse meets our exact inquiry requirement. At Pioneer OSB, we have a variety of products to cater for your different applications. We have the raw board, super finish, veneer laminated OSB, Hyplex plank, specially designed for structural support in building construction, Hylam, a great combination for load-bearing and thin panel lamination surface furniture, and Superfinish UV with a natural or smooth coat. The excellent quality of Pioneer OSB with its green, safe, and structural features satisfy our customers and enable our products to meet the demands of various markets globally.